Let me seize this opportunity to address this issue of division by zero. We say it's an undefined operation. Why do we say so? If you say 6 over 2, we know that probably you have two recipients and you have six objects to distribute among them or to share among them. So you can give one to this, 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 and give one to this. After that, you realize that each person has three of these objects. And so you can say that 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. That makes sense. When you say 0 divided by 2, well, it means that you have two recipients, you can see, but you have nothing to give to them. Obviously, I have no other markers here. So what is the status of each individual? Each individual receives nothing. And so if we say 0 divided by 2 is 0, that makes sense. I was not able to perform the operation. I couldn't do the division, but I can tell the status of each individual. They have nothing, obviously. But if you say 2 divided by 0, that creates an inconvenience to my mathematical mind. That is to say that you have two objects here to divide to no objects, no individual, nothing. So how can you do the division? Do we divide when there is none to receive? That is why we say that it is an undefined operation. You cannot perform the operation. You cannot tell value. There's nobody to receive, so you cannot tell. This is the more important point. You cannot tell what each person will receive. So there's no value for 2 divided by 0. It's an undefined operation. Anything you write to symbolize that will be an undefined expression. Now, 0 divided by 0 is similarly an undefined expression. Now, you may say, so the 2 divided by 0, shouldn't that be 0? If you say it is 0, you are trying to say that then each of the no one that is there to receives 0. No, we saw when the result was 0. If there's nobody, how then do you say that we? No. If you do that, you are treating nothing as if it was something. And that will go to support the idea that people have that mathematical expressions don't really mean anything practical. But that is not the point. Mathematical expressions generally are abstractions of what we do in everyday life. And so if you don't have that case, if it doesn't represent something that we do, we say it is undefined. So the same way 2 divided by 0 is undefined, 0 divided by 0 is also undefined. You may say, don't we know that every number divided by itself is 1? Well, but we don't know that. Some people know that. Mathematics doesn't know that. What mathematics knows is that every non-zero number divided by itself is 1. In mathematical analysis, the expression 0 divided by 0 is regarded as one of the indeterminate forms. That is something that can result when you try to evaluate the limit of several rational functions at a point. These different rational functions have different limits, but When you try to evaluate their limit by substituting the limiting value into the numerator and the denominator directly, you are going to get 0 over 0. But when you take away the option of the variable giving you that 0, then you can get something meaningful. So when we say 0 over 0 is indeterminate in that context, we are saying that you cannot use 0 over 0 to tell the limit. It cannot determine the limit. That doesn't mean it is a defined expression. So when you take a rational function such as x over 2x, and you want to find the limit as x approaches 0, if you substitute 0 at the top, you get 0. If you substitute at the down, you get 0. At the end of the day, you get 0 over 0. But the function is not, the limit is not 0 over 0. When you look at this carefully, if you cancel out the x's, you have half. If you are cancelling out the x's, it means you are saying that you want to analyze the function where x is not 0. Because if x is 0, then x over x isn't 1. So that rational function will be half as s approaches 0. If you have the rational function x over 3x, then it is approaching 1 over 3 as s approaches 0. But if you were to substitute 0 at the top and 0 at the down, you get 0 over 0, which you would have gotten for the first case where you had x over 2x. The same thing you get if you have x over 5x. You'll be getting this 0 over 0 in all those cases. But that will not determine. So we say if we say 0 over 0 is indeterminate, it means not everything that leads to, every limit that leads you to 0 over 0 are the same. Different limits will lead you to that. That's what that means in that context.